Hello everyone, welcome to this interesting session on Big Data Analytics from Edureka. Before I start, can I get a quick confirmation if I'm loud and clear to all of you? Hello Ashish, hello Ved, can I get a quick confirmation? Great, thank you Ved and Ashish. So let's start. So we are going to discuss about what is this Big Data Analytics. It is going to be really interesting topic because these days you must be hearing a lot that there are a lot of jobs pitching up in Big Data Analytics. You might be getting a lot of job openings as well. We are looking for candidates who are good in Big Data Analytics. So what is this keyword what they are looking for? Why exactly companies are focusing on this particular keyword? So we are going to understand that. So let's move and see what is Big Data Analytics. But before that, what is all for you in this session? So first, we are going to start with Big Data introduction. This is mainly for people who do not know anything about Big Data. So for them, they need not worry about it. We will be taking care of that part. What is Big Data Analytics, right? That's the major question which we want to answer. Then we will be talking about why Big Data Analytics. Why this is important, why companies are looking forward towards it. What are the stages which are part of Big Data Analytics? Then Big Data Analytics domain. What are the domains what we have in this area? And what are the use cases? So in the end, we are going to see a small project on this part to give you a good idea how this analytics project looks like. What kind of problem corporate expect from you to solve. So this portion we are going to see. Now, first, let's start talking about big data. What is big data? What do you understand by this term big data? So let's first explore that. So now, data is exploding. If we talk about data, in last 5 years, data have grown exponentially. In fact, every 2 years, data is getting doubled. If you want to reach moon, you just burn all the data in a disk, you will be able to reach moon twice. That much amount of data we have in current world. So you can imagine when today we have this much amount of data, and that data itself we are calling that it's very difficult to manage right now. Imagine what is going to happen in 2020. We are talking about almost 3 to 4 years ahead of the time. What is going to happen? The data will be like 4 times to 10 times larger what we currently have. And that is going to be a very tricky task, and that is where this big data tools will be very, very important. In fact, right now, the situation is that very less companies have identified the potential of this big data. A lot of companies are hesitant towards moving towards big data tools. I would say only 5% of the companies have realized the potential of big data. And I'm only considering the companies who are like into data domain, who are dealing with this data domain part. Now, among those, only 5% have understood the importance of big data. And the reason is that it's very simple. They are kind of worried that if we move from our traditional systems to our, this HDFS or Hadoop system, will we get people? Are there people available who will solve the problem for us? Will it be easy transition for us? So all this, because of all these things, they are hesitant to move. But in future, you are going to notice that it is going to be solved. So this is pretty sure that this problem will be solved in coming time. It will not be there for a longer period. So this will be all solved. But by 2020, analysts have predicted that this 5% will get to 40%. And when this 40% will explode, you can imagine not only data is exploding, but also job will be exploding in this domain. Currently, in today's world itself, we have so many jobs available. Imagine the situation in 2020. That is going to be very interesting to look at. So let's move further. Now, if talk more about the data, I just answered this part. Now, if you keep on stacking it, I told you you can reach 2 times the moon. Same story they mentioned about the Eiffel Tower as well, right? So it is too huge data to talk about, which we currently have. Correct? Now, moving further, Now, if we see this example, you can notice, right, with Eiffel Tower, the data is growing so huge that you can keep storing the data and it can reach till the height of your Eiffel Tower. That's very interesting. Now, let's see what you understand by this word big data now. So we have just talked about few fun facts about it, that what is this, but what is big data? What do you understand by this keyword big data? Now, lot of people generally say that when I have large volume of data, I will be calling it as big data, but that's a wrong notation. This volume is just one property of big data. We cannot say that if it is huge volume, then only it is a big data, otherwise it's not a big data. No. Volume is one characteristic of big data. There are other characteristics as well. For example, now the velocity. Because if you see this Facebook, it is just 12-year-old company. It is not a very old company, but currently the situation is that within 12 years, they have generated a massive amount of data. Few months back, there was a fun fact, what was posted by Mark, who is the CEO of Facebook. He posted that today the number of users who are using Facebook is equivalent to number of people living in this earth 100 years ago. That's a big statement from the CEO of Facebook. That means he is not just talking about one country, he's talking about the whole globe. Now, what does this mean? That Facebook is dealing with big volume of number of users. Now, this itself, we are just talking about number of users right now. We have not still talked about what kind of activities or what kind of data these users generate. Now, if I talk about kind of data what these users generate, we see that what we do generally on Facebook, we either put some post, we post video, we post audio, right? So we do all this stuff. Now, when you post video or when you post audio, is that the data which can be handled by our RDBMS? No, because I don't have any pattern for this kind of data. It is a very different kind of data, and this category we called it as unstructured data. Now, this unstructured data is a different variety, and this is growing exponentially. It is growing with a very huge pace. Now, not only this unstructured data, even structured data also is growing at a very huge pace. But with, if I compare both, unstructured is growing more in number. In fact, in current scenario, we have 80% of unstructured data and 20% of structured data. So you can make out the importance of unstructured data in our analytics as well. Now the challenge here is that how to deal with that data. Can my RDBMS deal with my data? Forget about volume part for some time. Even if it is small data, can my RDBMS deal with it? No. Answer will come again a no here. And to solve this, we require specialized tools like Hadoop to fix this problem. Now, so that brings me to another property, velocity, which means the pace with which the data is growing. Also, it brings me to another step called as variety. Like we have seen, we have structured data, we have unstructured data, we are also generating data from different sources. For example, this medical domain is generating data, this Facebook, social media, Twitter, all these companies are generating big data, right? So variety of data what we are getting. Value from the data. Now it's very important the data what we are getting, is that meaningful data? Can I make out some insight from the data? This property is called value property. And the last property, which is really important property, is called veracity. In veracity, what we do is, let's say if you're getting data, there can be data which can be corrupt as well. Or maybe there might be data which is missing data as well. Now, that sort of data, where we are missing data or where we have corrupt data, how we can deal with such things. This is called veracity. So these are the 5 important components of big data. So we can never say just a volume is denoted as big data. That is just one of the characteristics. There are other characteristics which are equally important. Moving further. Now, big data growth drives, and as we have just discussed that imagine what would be the scenario in 2020. In 2020, we will be dealing with almost 50 billion of the devices, right? That will be very huge number. You talk about any domain, we will be having such huge amount of data. So we will be dealing with so much amount of data. You might have heard about Internet of Devices, that this is going to be the next big thing. But that Internet of Devices is now creating so much of huge data, right? Because here you talk about that you can automate your home. Now there all the devices are generating sensors. Lot of events will happen with IoT that will be all requiring big data. So with IoT becoming more and more popular, requirement of big data tools become more important as well. So by 2020, you can see that there will be a huge requirement of these tools to solve the problems. Now, every minute, I'm not talking about every day, I'm not talking about every month what happens, I'm just talking about every minute. Every minute on Facebook, there are so many of likes happening, right? Every minute, we are getting almost like around 42 lakhs likes. We can talk about Twitter. Almost 3.5 lakh tweets happens per minute. You can keep on talking about others like YouTube, Reddit, Instagram. Like YouTube, on YouTube, almost 300 hours of data is getting generated. And that is again a big thing, right? Because so much of data we are generating per minute. Why this big data analytics? Why it is important? Now, when we talk about big data analytics, we have just talked about the volume which we are facing right now. But can we make some insight from that data, right? That is big data analytics. But why? Why this is important for us? Very important part. When we analyze something important from our data, maybe we can gain some business insight. So it is going to make your system cost effective. So we are going to reduce the cost by analyzing it. Maybe we can analyze something, we implement something in a way that it is going to save us a good amount of cost. You can also automate your car, right? So let's say if we talk about Google, they have the self-automated cars and all. How they did all that? You might have heard that they are using artificial intelligence and machine learning a lot. Now these all are part of the analytics. Now they are generating huge amount of data and they are performing all sort of analytics. So this Google self-driving car is the best example for this big data analytics as well. Similarly, in healthcare, they keep on devising all this instrument because they have such a huge amount of data. They make some analysis on top of that and try to get some insight from it. Similarly, you will be able to make the very fast decisions, and those decisions will be very much helpful for you. You can also improve your services for your product by analyzing the data. Let's say your users are giving you a lot of reviews. Now from that reviews itself, you should be able to make out some insight that, okay, looks like there is a trend in my negative reviews. If I fix that, actually I can make all those negative reviews to positive reviews. So all those analysis can be done by big data analytics. So this is the very kind of important part, and that is the reason we require this, and that is the reason you are hearing from a lot of companies about this job. What is big data analytics? In big data analytics, let's say you will be having a big data, you will be performing your analytics on top of that, and in the end, you will be making some decisions out of it. So this will be your big data analytics. Similarly, what are the stages in your big data analytics? When we talk about big data analytics, first thing would be definitely we want to identify what is the problem we are trying to solve. What is my data requirement? That would be my second step. Because first of all, I need to identify the problem. Then I will be identifying the data requirement. Then we will be talking about we need to do some processing. Maybe we want to clean up our data. We want to do some sort of processing on the data. So that's called pre-processing data stage. After that, you will be performing some analytics on top of that. When you finish your analytics, you will be pushing it to visualize the data. That visualization can happen with Tableau, AngularJS, or any sort of tools which are available, but you will be visualizing all your data in the end. What are our big data domains which are with us? We have web and e-tailing, for example, e-commerce, Flipkart, eBay, all these companies, they are analyzing their product in order to increase their sales. Telecommunication companies, companies like Airtel, AT&T, Vodafone, all these companies are using in order to perform some analytics and see that, okay, what are the customers who are at high risk of leaving us? Churn rate, they want to reduce that. Now, all this, they do it with the help of the data what they have available. Similarly, government. If you are in India, you might have heard about Aadhaar cards. That's a very big project what Indian government has started. And now the challenge was there are so many people living. Even in that Aadhaar card project is using Hadoop. If you just Google about it, you will get an idea. They are using Hadoop systems in order to process them. Healthcare, finance, banking, all these domains also use big data analytics. So as you can see, these are just few lists what is in front of us. There are many more fields or domains where this big data analytics is getting used. Now, what are the use cases what we do have? So let's understand this. Everybody must have heard about Donald Trump, right? Who won this US election. He's the president of US. Now, this guy used big data analytics and that helped him to win the election. What they did was, he collected all the personal data from various resources whichever was possible, like club cards, newspapers, subscriptions, social media, etc. He built an algorithm, means he did not build, he had an agency who built all the algorithm that generated top cities to reach the highest concentration of voters. Now, what he did, he kind of kept on sending some sort of advertisement or lot of things he kept on doing. So he first identified what are the possible voters in the domain, and then based on that he kind of keep on publishing lot of things, and then the message were targeted based on the voter profile using all the social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. So what he did, they learned, that algorithm learned from the user profile what kind of things he liked, and based on that only the personalized advertisement was set up. So it's like maybe for you, if you are opening the system, you may be getting a different advertisement, and for someone else, who is a friend, may be getting some different advertisement. So that was the thing, and this actually helped Donald Trump to win the US election. So this already like people, not only now companies are using it, but even politicians start using it, right? So you can realize the importance of big data. When the most powerful country, when they, to win the election of that country, when they are using big data, you can understand the power of that. Not only this, in this 2012, if I'm not wrong, in 2012, this FIFA World Cup, if you just Google it, you will get a news. Germany won because they had a 12th man. And who was that 12th man? Big data analytics. What Germany did, they used big data analytics in order to analyze the strategy of other teams. That is what they have done. And using that, they were preparing their own strategies, and that helped them in winning the World Cup. So you can see even the small places where you cannot even imagine this big data analytics is getting used, right? So these are the places where this is getting used. A nice examples. Thanks, Wade. So now these are the places where, like as we've seen, that president is winning due to this, a team is winning due to this, right? So you can make out the power of this big data analytics. Now let's move further. Similarly, there are multiple other use cases. Walmart uses it, or maybe Amazon uses it when they want to predict some users in order to sell few things. Now, even in case of any earthquake or maybe any sort of tsunami, these kind of event also, big data analytics plays a major role. What it do is it will predict earlier phase itself that is there any issue, which is any possible issue, and then accordingly immediately send a alert messages. All these things can be done with the help of analytics, big data analytics. Similarly, now this healthcare is a very important domain, right? Because we want to, definitely doctors want to make sure that all the treatments are done properly. So what they do, all the big data what they have generated earlier, that is very huge in volume. Now with that, any new patients comes up, they try to apply the algorithm and see that if that prediction can help them to cure that patient earlier itself. So all these domains are also using this big data analytics. So let's talk about the tools which are available in this domain. If we talk about tools, we have multiple analytical tools like Hadoop, Hive, Pig, Apache Spark, HBase. Hadoop we already know. In Hadoop we work on the distributed fashion, so we can create through MapReduce our analytics. Hive is the SQL tool where your SQL query anyway get converted to MapReduce programming, but you can perform as a user. You need not worry about the MapReduce program. You will be writing the query in your SQL program. Pig is mostly for people who love to do scripting. Now those people are using this platform, and this is very helpful for your analytics. Apache Spark, the most hot topic currently in the market. You might be hearing this name a lot, that Apache Spark is eating up the whole Hadoop market. Why? Because of the analytics power what Spark possesses, plus definitely a few other things like the processing is really quick in this, but yes, mainly due to the analytical power what Spark have. Similarly, HBase, this is a NoSQL DB. Here also you can perform your big data analytics. Now, what are the courses available with us? So we have a few courses now. Like then definitely this question must be in your mind. What is for me if I want to learn this area? I'm highly motivated now. I'm really happy. I understood this part, but now I want to learn this. What are the things I need to look at? A question from Ashish. Which one is most trending tool nowadays with respect to career? Apache Spark. If you want to ask this, Apache Spark is the tool which is booming right now. Now there are still like Hive and all are also like equally popular, but with Apache Spark providing the best performance, companies started adopting it. So that is one thing which is happening, but it doesn't mean that Hive are not getting used. Hive is still getting used at many other places. I'm talking about Hive and Pig. But yes, in terms, if I compare both the job market, currently Apache Spark is at the top. Now, what are the courses which are available? These are just few what are listed in front of you. In fact, there are much more. So let me give you an idea about where exactly we have this analytics. So the major course is Spark and Hadoop Developer. This is the course where we teach Hive, Pig. We also talk about Spark ecosystem to give you an idea about how it works. So this have all the analytical stuff, your MapReduce programming, your HBase, everything which is a part of analytics is a part of this course. Now there are other courses as well. Apache Spark is missing from this list, but Apache Spark is also one of the courses which we have. which is helping you to do lot of analytics. Now we have other courses like data scientist, which is a little bit related to R. With R also you can perform analytics in big data environment, with especially with like introduction of Spark R in the market. Now if you know this, learning of Spark R will be more easier for you. So your data scientist course, data engineering course, data analyst course, we have so many courses available for this domain. Okay, so all this will help you, but if you want to kind of know the major courses for big data, if you want to talk about especially Spark and Hadoop developer, these two courses are the important course where we talk about analytics. Question from Ashish, is it possible for a working guy like me to go with these courses? Why not? In fact, 80 to 90% people, Ashish, who enroll for our course are working people, and that work best for them because the way we have designed up all our timings are like we keep morning 7 to 9 a.m. for the people who just want to do this course and immediately rush for their office. There are people who love to come back from office and want to do the course. For them, we have sessions like 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. IST. They are all good after coming back to office. We have weekend sessions running as well, because a lot of people say that I'm not good with weekdays. I want something in weekend. So in weekend, we have 8 to 11 a.m. IST sessions. Similarly, we do have sessions in the evening as well on weekends, which are like 8:30 to 11:30 p.m. So all the times we have, you just ask the time, we have it, right? So even for working people, we have made the time in such a way that it should suit all the working people as well. So that's not a problem, and you will be getting a good, sufficient and ample time to complete everything up. Question from Ved, I'm a fresher, what course would be best for me? My suggestion would be go for Big Data Hadoop Developer first, followed by Apache Spark. These two courses are must if you want to excel in big data analytics field. Now other courses are still like important. For example, this data scientist course. The reason it is important is because you might have heard this language R, which is majorly used by analysts. This is like a hot selling cake in the market. Why? Because a lot of companies started using this R language. They want to now start doing analytics with that. So that is the reason it is one of the hot topic in the market, and a lot of companies are looking for it. So definitely this is also important. But to start with, you should look forward towards Big Data Hadoop Developer, followed by Apache Spark. And that would be my suggestion with. Even for you as well, whoever are experienced people, same suggestion will go. Now, let's see an interesting case study. We have just talked about this Hadoop and all that analytics part, but let's see an interesting case study. Let me explain you what exactly this is. So I'm not going to go deep into this topic, just to give you an overview of that when you do all these courses, what kind of projects you will be solving. So this is just to give you a glimpse of the project part. So there was a company named as Orbitz that used to like book the hotels, booking flights and all that. Now they were facing some issue. The issue what they were facing was they have some challenges. The data what they were dealing with was huge. There were so many users coming to their website. Now they were using warehouse to solve their problem for their processing, means database systems and all. But with so many users, almost 1.5 million flights, 1 million of hotels, searching each day was almost impossible. And that's the reason they were generating even 1,500 GB of log data per day. Now with warehouse growing like this, it was almost impossible to process it. So this was the biggest challenge for them, and to solve this, they started using Hadoop. So they were looking for all these problems that, okay, I want something efficient and long-term storage system that can store any kind of data. Means I'm not only worried about structured data, even my unstructured data should get stored. Can I have some analytical tool which can help me to analyze my data, and it should also be cost effective. Now to get that answer, Hadoop answered it stating that yes, I have all your answers. Open source framework it is. So it is free of cost. You will not have to apply any of the costing factor here. It's very easily scalable, and it has a lot of analytical tools which helps you to solve the problem. So what they did, they accomplished their solution with the help of Hadoop part. They have kind of used a lot of Hadoop tools to solve the problem. They used MapReduce, they have used Hive. So these tools they were using to solve the problem. Now let's see that how the analysis is happening of website logs at Orbitz. So what they had was, they have two kind of data. Now the first data was impression list, where they have a session ID, hotel ID, the position. The position was important. Now what was happening, let's say when you search something, it shows you a page, right? It shows you a page of list of hotels. Now how it should decide that this should be my first page, means in the page also itself that should be my first link, this hotel should be placed at first link, this hotel should be at the third position. Where what should be the position of each hotel we should push? Definitely, if you think from a business perspective, it makes sense for whichever hotel is getting most click or whichever hotel is getting most booked. Definitely, I should show that hotel as my first hotel, right? That should be my best position what I should give. Now earlier that was not happening with them. They want to fix that problem. And second issue was, can you notice this hash hash hash? They also want to remove all these hashes because this was some bad data. Remember I talked about veracity? This is the problem here. This is veracity. Now similarly they have one more data of different where they have session ID, visitor IP, hotel ID, booking date, number of guests, booking time. All these details are there, and here also they have the problem of bad data. So they have to first fix it. So what they did as a first step was, they have written a MapReduce code. I'm not going to walk you through that MapReduce code because you will not be able to get it if you have not already done these courses. But they have written an effective MapReduce code, and using that they were able to clean this data. Okay, so using that they were able to clean this data. Now further down the line, now once they have done all that, right, now the major problem is how they can analyze everything and see that what should be the perfect position of each hotel. That is now my important part, and that depends on the search bar against the frequency, which hotel is getting booked the maximum of those portions. Now what they did, they first pull up the data, they put it in the local drive. After that they brought it to the Hadoop cluster, they cleaned the data. Then after cleaning they put it into Apache Hive, because Hive is a SQL kind of tool where you can apply lot of analytics. All the analytics will be done from here. The query will be given by analyst and Apache Hive will be giving the result. So this is the use case what they were doing for that. And to achieve that, what they did, they have large amount of unstructured log data. They store any kind of data like a structured, unstructured. They parallelly executed all the code with the help of MapReduce part. Whatever output came out as a structured data, they fed it to the Hive, which uses HQL, means Hive query language. Then whatever output you were getting, based on that, they got the position. Then they just produce their analytical report. Let me just quickly go and show you this part in the machine to give you a glimpse of how the output looks like. In fact, let me walk you through a document where we have all these things mentioned. Okay, look at this document. If you look at this document, what is happening here is we have our MapReduce code. So we already have the MapReduce code, where first of all we are keeping all our input files, what I just talked about, that we have web trends and impression. Then we have created our MapReduce program. After that we generated our jar file. Once we have done that, we are going to execute that jar, and in the output we are going to have a cleaner data. This is going to happen for my impression as well as web trend. Once that happens, I am going to get my structured data. Now I am going to go to my Hive. I am going to create a table web trend, where I am going to create this table web trend having session ID, visitor IP and all. I am going to show this in my VM as well. So this table will be created. After that, an impression table I have to also create. I am going to load that clean data into these tables as well. Once this is done, we will create a new table called as position table, where we are again going to use our join with all these stored tables and load our data. And after that, once it is done, we will create a booking frequency table, which is going, once I insert this data of position to it, I will be able to do the analysis by doing this count, how many number of times this hotel is getting listed, what is the average position it is making up, and this is how I will be able to tell that this should be my exact position. So let me show you quickly this booking frequency, that how this looks like. In order to do that, let me just quickly get connected. Let me just quickly get connected to my Hive. Once I am there, we can also list all the tables. So let's say I say that show tables. You can see this tables, right? We have this impression, we have this position, we have so many tables available with us. Now these tables are there. We want to look at the output of booking frequency for what we have seen. So let's see this. Select estate from booking underscore frequency. Look at this output. Now this will show me the number of counts the hotel is being looked at, right? What was the number of times it is being done, and then can you see the current position is this, but we want to push it at some other position now, right? So whichever is the most frequently being seen and all, I will now with this analysis will be shifting my positions accordingly. So this is how you will be performing your analytics. So let me go back. So this is just a very simple use case what we have shown you here. Once we generally go through all these things in sessions, we walk through in detail about all these portions. We walk through you will be knowing that what are all the steps involved here properly. You will have all the details about that, because right now we cannot tell you about in this session about how to write that MapReduce code and all. But there you will be learning each step by step, and you will be able to easily do it on your own. To summarize everything, now we have all what is big data. We have understood that, where we discussed that big data is comprising of multiple portions, volume, velocity and all. Then why big data analytics? To reduce the cost, to have faster results and multiple other things. What is big data analytics? This is important part because it helps you to understand big data analytics, when you will be applying the analytics, and then in the end you are doing the decision part. Then what are the stages you have in big data analytics, where you are identifying a problem, then you are doing the data requirement, pre-processing of the data, applying your analysis and visualizing your data. What are the domains we do have? We have seen that these are very limited domains what we discussed. There are many more which are possible. Then how a person became a president of US by using this, how a team can win a World Cup of FIFA by using this. So all these examples also we have discussed in detail, and these are the topics we have discussed. So I hope you have found this session useful. You are able to make out what exactly is going to help you in order to understand this analytics part. Any questions or anything for you? Thanks, Shivang, for this informative session. It was very useful. Thank you. Thank you, Ashish. So we will sit through this project when we will enroll for the course. Yes, all these things we make you teach in the session itself, so that you are able to implement a project in the session. Not only this, once you finish the course, there will be some 7-8 projects what you need to solve as well. And support team will be there 24/7 in order to assist you. In case if you are stuck at any stage, you just need to just call for it. That's it. You have to either give a call or drop an email. Your problem will be immediately solved. Okay, so that is what we do in order to help you with the projects. Not with just one project. There will be some 7-8 projects for a course. Any other question from anyone? Please feel free to ask. Okay, so in case there is no further question, thank you everyone for joining this session. And I hope you will find this useful, and I hope our path will meet anytime once again. So thank you all of you.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries, and we will reply to them at the earliest. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our Edureka channel to learn more. Happy learning!